would say one of the clearest fuck it moments was when I was working for IBM. You know, I have a bachelor's degree and an MBA, and when I got my MBA, I moved to Atlanta, started working for IBM, and you know, all the things in life that you're told that are important, you know, that you drive for, that you hustle for, a house, car, money, blah, blah, blah. None of that shit I had growing up, you know what I mean? It was funny because when I was a kid, I'd get on a different bus and my classmates thought I lived a different life, but they didn't know sometimes I didn't have power. You know what I mean? So my fuck it moment was when I was in Atlanta after I got my MBA. I bought a car, I bought this house, you know what I mean? And I literally was sitting in that crib. I went to church on New Year's Eve, which, you know, got back to this brand new house, sitting in my crib, and I'm like, I don't want any of this. I don't need any of this shit. And then from that moment, I was like, let me figure out what I'm really supposed to be doing here. I just started trying to figure it out. And my fuck it moment was when I was working for IBM, traveling around the world, doing marketing plans and all this other stuff. And I was willing to just walk away from it. I was actually in Paris on business, and I was like, I don't even want to go back. I could say fuck it here. But I went back and got involved in some modeling and stuff in Atlanta, and that kind of transformed into a TV movie audition in New Orleans. And I drove from Atlanta to New Orleans for the audition. Director told me I had to call back, got a hotel, ended up working all day on my computer because I could work from anywhere. Went to the callback, booked it, drove back to New Orleans. And then after that, man, I was like, fuck it, let me go. This is the fuck it continuation. This is part A. Moved to LA, man, and just was about business. But even there's more fuck it moments. Like I remember people telling me I was too smart. You're too smart. Because at that time, if you were black and in my category, you either had to be a thug or play a gay role. The vision of it wasn't as expansive as it is now. So for me, it was just about getting out there and being about my grind and honing my craft and really trying to figure out the best way I can impact not only the business, but my life and the life of those people that are important around me. So yeah, I think the biggest obstacle or challenge that faces people in Hollywood is complacency. You can blame anybody. You know, it could always be something else. It could always, but what are you doing though? And are you doing it to sustain where you are, or are you doing it to elevate your current situation? Like if you want to be made more comfortable where you are, that's one thing. That's a specific hustle. But if you want to elevate and innovate and create new things, that requires a different level of commitment. So I think there's a difference between saying I'm an actor, period, and being an actor proactively trying to hone the skills to become one. You know what I mean? And then it always comes back to who you are, though. Director, businessman, everybody's going to have a title eventually doing something. But the question is, what do you represent while you hold that? You know what I mean? It's not even, titles come and go, but who you are is the most consistent thing between first and last breath, and that's the most important. I avoid complacency by constantly reminding myself that there's more, not only there's more work to be done, but how far I've come sometimes. You know what I mean? I think I don't have review mirrors, but when I look at the journey that I've come, there's no real rational reason why I'm here. You know what I mean? There's no logical, linear story that makes sense for me to start in Champaign and take all these things to be in this position right now. So I don't take it for granted. You know what I mean? I think, you know, in this position where you have a platform and you, whatever that size platform that is, the opportunity to influence and, you know, create and inspire. I think that's really, to me, that's the thing that allows me to avoid complacency, because I'm like, kids that were my age looking up, I was looking up for somebody to inspire me or words of wisdom and stuff like that, and I would love to be able to continue to do that. My advice for someone that wants to get into Hollywood is to make sure that it's your dream, not somebody else's. Because you have to be prepared for rejection. You have to be prepared not to sleep. You have to be prepared to be disappointed. You have all those things that you want to avoid in life, like the painful things that aren't comfortable. Those are the things that you have to assume when you start. And I think that's probably one of the most important things, because the no's and yeses come when they come. You can't control that. But I definitely think that's probably one of the more important things in terms of making it out. In terms of making it in Hollywood, to me, is maintaining your peace of mind. Like, fuck the jobs. Why determine your success on other people's choices? Like, if you can get to a place where you have peace of mind regardless, then the rest is just gravy. Like we spoke about, you know, like I you know, just in talking with Corey Grant, the director of Listed, and a lot of the producers, it's like, you know, we found ourselves in a situation where we were sitting around waiting. And for us, it was about not so much trying to wait for other people to make decisions, but being more conscious of the decisions that we can be accountable amongst ourselves and seeing how far that can take us. And I think that in doing that, you know, we undervalue the power of our choices and the influence that we can make around us. And I think coming into communion with that as an individual is so important.